ever heard yourself say to yourself that your style feels chaotic? It feels dowdy. Maybe you've talked about you've lost your style because maybe you've gained some weight. It's during COVID or you're getting older. But you wish that your style was more professional, more polished, more put together. I want to welcome you to the Style with Significance show, where we talk about how style influences your life, your brand, and how you see yourself. I'm Annette Bond, certified image consultant, and I work with successful businesswomen just like you, helping you to create a signature style where we begin with the core of who you are so that you are now getting dressed with ease, you are aligned with your brand, and most importantly, ready to be seen with confidence. And that is what we're going to talk about today. I've been on a series that we're talking about being seen with confidence. And today specifically, we're going to talk about words. What do words have to do with your style? And I am so thrilled and excited that I have one of my besties here, a business partnership that we have together. And she is a master at words. And that is my friend, Debby Handrich.
Thanks, Annette. Thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here.
And I'm so excited to have you here. Debby is a writing teacher. She is an advanced life coach, and she is the hostess of Story You Talk Radio. So she is, when I met Debby, she has given me like a whole new meaning of words. But before we kind of dive in, Debby, I don't know if I've ever shared this with you. I remember growing up, and my mother would always say to me, Annette, if you can't say anything nice about somebody, don't say it. And it was words, right? What she was saying. And then as I started to really get into my own self-development, what I really kind of latched on to, if you will, is what you talk about, you bring about, and it goes back to those words. So I'm excited for you to share with all these amazing women that are listening right now. You talk about relationship with words. So kind of, can you share a little bit more about what is that all about for you?
I think it's really interesting. Your mom said that. My mom said that a lot too.
Did she?
What I don't think I understood at that age, when I was being told that over and over again, was that I was a bullied little girl, and I didn't understand that the words that were used on me were also words I would replay in my mind. And then I'd feel like, why do I not understand myself better? It's really important for us as women in business to have a relationship with ourselves. We know we're having some kind of relationship with ourselves if we're saying, oh God, I'm having a bad hair day, or oh God, I've put on a few pounds, or oh God. We know we're having some kind of relationship, but we need to go beyond that, far beyond that. And what I've done since I was young is I've had a journal. And when I look back at my journal, when I wasn't getting any help as a writer, and I see how I was talking to myself, I can notice a huge difference of when I started to get help, when I started to realize it's up to me to choose the words that I say to me. If I say, I'm too big, I'm too messy, I'm too anything, then I'm programming myself to believe that. But if I say I'm ready, I'm programming that as well. So I use a journal to have a relationship with myself, and I am really thoughtful about the words I use around me. And like I said, there were years where I was really inundated with not thoughtful words. And whether that was our past or not, women know how to use the mundane and the not so thoughtful as a way of bringing themselves into the day. And we can do a lot better if we are willing to have a relationship with ourselves and our words.
Yeah, when I mentioned it right up front when I was talking about women will talk about, oh, I feel frumpy, or oh, I feel dowdy, or oh, my wardrobe feels chaotic. What do you feel like that brings into personal style, right? The show was called Style with Significance, and we think words, style, how we talk, like what does that have to do with my personal style, right?
Right. And when I went through life coaching school, I went as far as they'd take me. And I learned one of my words was chaos, chaotic.
Oh.
I would say, my notebooks are so chaotic. My desk is so chaotic. My closet is so chaotic. And what I didn't realize was I was programming my day to be chaotic. I was writing the program because we are the authors of our life. We are the authority. So if I'm using the word, my closet is chaotic, my desk is chaotic, my notes are chaotic, then so is my business and my life. But what if I go to my closet and I go, interesting. I'm looking around, I'm seeing what's in my closet, and I claim, today, what I want, even though I think I'm seeing chaos, today, what I want is confidence. What does that look like? Bam, I know what to reach for. But I need that word.
Ooh, I love that. You looked in your closet and said, I want confidence.
Mhm.
I love this to be, if you're watching, and I love for you to comment, what are you hearing that Debbie just said about, are you guilty of going to your closet? Is it chaotic, or are you looking for confidence? And, it goes back to what I learned. And, I learned it so long ago. And I actually heard a gentleman recently that I heard speak was talking about what you talk about, you bring about. And so, are we feeling confident? Are we feeling pretty? Are we comparing ourselves? Or how are we using words to talk about who we are? So I love that. Another thing you talk about is it important to accept or reject the words others assign to us? So we first talked about the words kind of in a sense, how we assign to ourselves, but how do others talk about us? Can you give us a little bit more, collaborate on that?
Sure, sure. For a number of years, I was a professor of English. And one of the things that my partner had said was, as a professor, Debbie, you're going to have to really mind your P's and Q's. That's what he said. And he was brought up in boarding school. And so he knew definitely what P's and Q's were. I was just looking at images of what a professor typically looked like and thinking that means I had best fit in. So if I'm outside of the image, I need to hone it in. So I had very straight skirts in black and gray, and I had cashmere cardigan and shell sets in, blues and burgundies. And that's it. That's it. But who am I? I'm a little more vibrant than that. I like a nice bold pink. I like flowers. I like prints. I like that. And there was a time when I wouldn't give myself permission to wear this because that might not be who's minding her P's and Q's. She might not get the raise. And I would allow those words and those thoughts and that language to dictate what others I thought were putting on me. My partner was saying, this is how you're seen in the world. We have to find a way, as you say so well in your brand, to come up with our t-shirt word, because that word allows us to have our confidence. That word allows us to be expressive. And when we're expressive, we're automatically individual. And when we're individual, we feel at home with ourselves and we bring our best forward.
Oh, you said that so eloquently. Debbie and I do talk a lot about style together, but you said a couple things that that I feel sometimes women get caught up in, and that is they look to the outside world to get that permission, or they listen to, I had a client just recently talking about how she grew up with this etiquette of her mother saying, this is how you need to dress, kind of like your partner in business. And, that can get so stuck in our mind, can't it? That background of how somebody else said we need to dress. And then the other piece is, I like to say this all the time, is I give you permission to be authentically you. And when I talk about helping women to really create and design a signature wardrobe that reflects who they are, the core of who they are, there is nothing more amazing than that. And so many women, because they're looking to the outside world and looking what others are wearing, they start doubting themselves of how they're showing up and being seen and wondering, is it okay? Or do I look the part, or whatever that might be?
Exactly.
Do you relate to any of that?
Well, deeply, because as a society, we hear what's good, what's bad, what's right, what's wrong. And so let's say someone just, I know this was a word that scared me when I was younger, was I never want to look tacky. That was a word in the 90s, don't wear that because it might look a little tacky. So that fed into the bad and the wrong. Everything in our mind goes back to our subconscious, and our subconscious is constantly looking out for what's good, what's right, stay away from bad, stay away from wrong. So we can have a full vocabulary, but if it doesn't pass the good, bad, right, wrong test, we go back to, I don't know what to do. So since we're conditioned to look outwardly for permission, look to a mentor. Look to someone who's got it down. Don't look to the random person who's just trying to get out of good, bad, right, and wrong as well. Get someone who really knows and who you can trust while you're working with the words you want for you. One of the words I really wanted for me was that in my brand as a storyteller, that I am someone who is really present. So I followed someone who was a professional at being very present. In your brand, you might have plenty of women who are like, I want to be confident. I want to be like a solid, educated woman. They're going to come with these particular words that to them mean it's good, it's right. And the brain sort of lights up with that. And as they get comfortable with their own, here's some words, uniqueness and their individuality, what they're going to see is that their image on the outside shows what they've been working on the inside. It's an automatic.
And because we've known each other for so long, I mean, my signature offer is called Reveal Your Radiance. And we talk about that. I mean, that uniqueness, that inner beauty, that individualized who we are. I mean, it's our radiance that we want to shine, right?
Could we play with that just for a second? Because those 3 words, reveal your radiance, are not accidental in any way. So reveal, if we hadn't gone through a drafting process, or you go through it around it, it could have been look radiant. Oh God, how do I do that? How am I going to get that right? What if I get that wrong? Look radiant. It could have been show up radiant. I think I know how. Do I know how? I knew how last week. Do I know how this week in this situation? It could have been so many things. But when you say reveal, you are really saying there's something inside that we would like to see brought forward. So as long as your mental capacity with your words is thoughtful and truthful, and you're working on that relationship with self, what you reveal will be aligned exactly with that.
Yeah. And when you talk about that relationship with yourself, is what I find so many women don't acknowledge, or there's not an awareness of what that, I call that amazingness of who they are from the inside out, and what that even looks like and what that might be. And let's go into the next piece, and we might kind of piggyback off that, is, so how does one get in touch with those words to associate with their radiance, their brand, so that they are showing up confidently to be seen?
One way is to start noticing the things you say just in your daily life. Something I hear women say all the time is, I am just crazy busy. Well, I don't want to be crazy, and I don't want to be busy. I don't say either of those words. I really don't say either of those words ever. I might say something like, I'm pretty booked today, because I like that. Being booked in my business is a good thing, but I am not crazy busy anymore. That means something else is running the show, and I'm probably not showing up as me if I'm crazy busy. So we have to start to pay attention to, how do I express myself with words? How do I even think of myself? What do I say? Another word I hear people say all the time is, well, you wouldn't believe my life. It's insane. Really? Is that really? Are we willing to settle for our life is insane? I don't think so. But it might be that call to notice, oh, if I'm thinking that way right now, what could I change so that I get to a word I want? If I want confidence, and insanity is nowhere near that, how might I start working towards it? Oh, okay. So instead of insane, maybe what I want to have in my life is that my life is predictable. There's a lot going on. Okay. It's no longer insane. It's predictable. There's a lot going on. My life today has just a little bit less going on, and I'm a little more intentional. Ooh. We like the word intentional, right? Because an intentional woman is not crazed, and she's not busy. She has time to think. And you start to work toward that thing you want. You start to go to your closet and take out that blazer that shows the confidence you have. And you work away from what's wrong, what's bad, what's not working in my life, and into, this is what I want. This is what I say I want. This is what I show up in. This is how I reveal the real life I'm living.
Yeah. Wow. As I said when we first started, you have changed my life with words, and I'm not saying that lightly. And you've just given me another level when you just talked about, and I'm going to say, do I say that stuff? I don't think I do, but I mean, truly leaving this conversation, I'm going to be more conscious. Am I saying some of the insane or busy or that that word that doesn't empower us? And so where I'm even going to take this, when you talk about I'm so busy or my life is insane, what I find, it becomes a thread that moves through your life, whether it's in the morning when you're getting dressed, right? Oh my God, I'm so busy. I feel my day is insane. So then you just grab something because it's easy. And then it's time to go online, whether you're working corporate or you're an entrepreneur and you're not wanting to be seen because you're in that mode, that thread of my day is insane.
We've
That's what,
used, exactly, we've used our words to
yeah.
validate a story that we don't want. So then we have to go outside to someone and go, am I insane? Am I crazy busy? And we're hoping they're going, you're not insane. But we're so conditioned to saying that to ourselves. We're starting to believe it. So now we'll trust anyone that will help us out there. And it really is just slowing it down and
Wow.
getting in touch with what's this real story of this real woman that I am, you know? And I'm not going to settle for my life is insane. Maybe things didn't go quite the way I wanted to today, but knowing that allows me to take steps forward. And it doesn't have to take a year or 20 to get things together. It can go very quickly when you're working with someone that knows how to. I mean, what did you show me when I said to you, it's hard for me to get dressed because I'm worried. I remember saying this to you before. I'm worried there's a way I'm supposed to look that I don't enjoy looking. You know, I don't enjoy having to look like a professional. You know, what's that? I just didn't enjoy it. And as soon as you said, you look nice in pinks, I was like, oh, you know, and I started to come back to me and what I enjoy. And you find your confidence in the real you, not the one out there that gets validated by others' values.
So this was so powerful today. I mean, so I can't wait. If you are watching this, I would love, love, love for you to comment what was your favorite piece that you heard today that is really going, that maybe you're going to make a change that you've now become aware of. And you know, I've this didn't come, it wasn't just a word I chose, but it was learning from you, Debbie. You know, my show, it's called Style with Significance, because I've always known that style isn't just a pretty dress, but it really does influence our life, our brand, and how we see ourselves in the big scheme of life. So thank you for coming today. This was amazing. So those of you who would love to connect with Debbie, you can email her at Debby@CoachDebby.com, and that is DEBBY at CoachDebby.com, or visit her website at CoachDebby.com, and tune into her radio show. It is every Thursday, but you can also catch it on her podcast on Apple, Audible, or tune in to your favorite podcast. And every Thursday she has a giveaway. Do you want to just share really quickly where that radio show is? Because you can listen to it live, which is super, super cool.
Sure. I do live coaching on the show. It's on Seattle's KKNW. You can listen anywhere in the world, but we are based here in Seattle. And if you go to our website there, it's 1150. So it's 1150 kknw.com. And you just click on hosts and I'd come up. But always, I'm always happy to, I'm the only one that answers my email. So I'm always happy to respond to people there. But I just wanted to leave listeners with a final tip. Sometimes this is something that we talk about on the show, and that is, how do I get started? And I would say go to this idea that Annette has about your t-shirt word. One of the words I started with when I wanted to get away from just good and bad and right and wrong, I realized I loved the idea of harmonizing with life. And I just kind of let that word be with me for a while. And it helped me see that all of those other words that are in our face all the time, they don't feel like our words because they start to become cliche. So just find one that you like. You just like it. I like the word feminine. I like the word harmony. Annette uses the word confidence better than anyone I know. Find some words you love and just sort of carry them around and see if insanity falls away, crazy busy falls away, all that stuff falls away. You're just going to enjoy your experience of the day a whole lot more.
Oh, that was beautiful. I love that. And speaking of t-shirt word, those of you who are listening, I want to invite you to AnnetteBond.com, and you can download my Get Style Confident guide now, where I talk about the t-shirt word. So you can find out all about that. So it's AnnetteBond.com/style confidence. And this was such a delight to have you on here Debbie, on here today, and to talk about words and style. And we will see you next Friday for the Style with Significance show at 12 o'clock noon Pacific Standard Time. I'll see you then.